Dear Diary,
Dear Diary,
here's a visual representation of my emotions right now.
here's a visual representation of my emotions right now.
It's a drawing of a blender,
It's a drawing of a blender,
and inside a
and inside it's a black
lump is
lump
spinning
is spinning
in circles.
in circles.
Looking back, it makes me sad.
It makes me sad.
I drew it when I was in elementary school.
I drew it when I was elementary school.
And it's the first time I can remember not having the words to express my
emotions.
5 years later, I would find myself
5 years later, I would find myself
sitting cross-legged on the
floor
of a middle school
classroom,
talking with a friend I didn't know very well. She would tell me about self-harm. She would tell me where she cut herself. So her parents didn't see. It was devastating and heartbreaking. And I laughed. Because once again, I didn't have the words to talk about my mental health and the mental health of the people I cared about. I'm a junior in high school now, and I have watched as friends have battled with anxiety and depression. I've had friends drop out of high school. I've had friends attempt suicide.
I had friends attempt suicide.
It's heartbreaking.
Because
mental health issues are something other people have. Until it's the people you love.
Until it's the people you love.
And our students are not being prepared for addressing these issues. In fact, my generation has some of the highest suicide rates since World War II. One in three students reports persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness. According to a 2019 study, which was up 40% 2009. From 2009. My generation is struggling. But we already knew that. See, it's not like we're doing nothing. About these statistics. In fact, we're seeing the schools
across the nation,
hire
hire more
school therapists.
hire more school therapists.
We are seeing
We are seeing
third-party
third-party organizations
and state political
parties
introducing programs to get free counseling sessions for youth. Making changes
We are making changes
and it's not enough.
It's not enough.
Because our mental health supports are not accessible to
all youth.
When a student wants to get mental health aid in their classroom or in their school, they have to leave class. They have to make up that schoolwork. Or stay after school or come before school and arrange rides with parents who might not be able to provide them if their work days don't accommodate for that. And students are expected to advocate for their own mental health when they have never had to do so before. It's a lot to ask. And it results in students not getting help until they are actively in crisis. We are not taking a preventative approach to our mental health services. And it's hurting kids. We need mental health integration in the classroom. And the coolest thing is that it's not that hard. Studies show, for instance, when students can write essays that break down complicated feelings or circumstances that they may be encountering at home. They are able to better analyze and process their own thoughts, which can result in healthier emotional regulation. In science, we can be teaching about neurochemistry, the way our brains work. The way our brains work. Right now, we're keeping conversations about how our own minds work, locked behind the doors of a counselor's office. When we could be teaching them in science classes. We need to understand how we feel the way we do and why our emotions work that way. that way. And it can help students better process and understand complex feelings. The high school and school is a stressful time for kids. When you're stepping into your own and figuring out who you are, that can be difficult. And by integrating education on mental health into the classroom, we are providing students with the resources they need to navigate this complex time. But integration is the keyword here. I've been a part of a number of classes where counselors have tried to offer this support. So they slip it in on the side. They take students seminar study hall periods. Times that we've been guaranteed time to connect with friends, work on homework, catch up in classes, and replaced it with discussions about mental health. When we set up our mental health resources in this way, it becomes a punishment. Students are losing time that they need to get other things done. And it creates a negative relationship with the mental health that they may take with them for the rest of their lives. We're making counselors sound like some scary third party. Somebody that you only go to if you're damaged. When we all encounter adversity, we all need that support. And it only makes sense to put it into a regular to put it into a regular classroom setting. I know that this integration will make mental health less taboo. And will empower students to advocate for their own mental health. Because when it's no longer some scary concept. When our advertisements about mental mental health more than the inspiration are more than the inspirational posters in our high school hallways. We are letting students know that we all struggle sometimes. And we are making those resources that we're investing in
that we're investing in
school counselors in the
school counselors
office,
in the office,
or therapy outside of
or therapy outside of
school more accessible.
More accessible.
This is the change that we need
to
benefit our students.
We need to benefit our students
And preserve a future where mental wellness is a priority.
Is a priority.
Thank you.
Thank you.